I'm already learning a lot by writing my lesbian vampire clown musical. So after my last video, I realized that my story was just not working yet. I liked certain aspects of the plot that I'd created. For example, Issa's girlfriend Melody goes missing, but Issa doesn't believe she's dead. She finds Melody at a vampire circus in the mountains. Her brother Gregory goes with her on her adventure and acts as her more grounded foil. There's a tie-in to romance novels, and there's a clown named Spoon. But there was a lot going on in my first draft of the story, and it was not very cohesive at all. I was talking about the project with my parents over the weekend, and they brought up some very interesting points. Keeping in mind, they've seen pretty much all my work my entire life. They pointed out that a lot of my plot's action happens in a character's head, and that sometimes I tend to miss a lot of cause and effect in my storytelling. So that became my goal, to externalize a lot of my action, whereas previously a lot of the conflict seemed to be more internal, and to connect my plot points more closely. And I wrote a new song!
I, for one, think you sound like an imbecile.
Welcome to my second video in creating my first of 15 musicals in 15 months. My name is Madeleine Skye, and I'm writing musicals. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So, to recap, in the last video I took us through the process of starting this musical. I chose the genre of clowns meets lesbian vampire romance. I have characters named Melody, Gregory, Issa, and Spoon, and I have 2 lines. It's as American as elbow grease. And must we have this argument right now that I have to use in the script? I started with writing out an idea for the plot, sketched the characters, and started on an idea for an I want song. If you don't already know, the concept of an I want song is typically very crucial for a musical. Think Part of Your World, The Wizard and I. What do you want, Paul?
'Cause I want you to want. To want. So what do you want, Paul?
The purpose of the I want song is just what it says. You're establishing the thing that your main character really wants more than anything in the world and drives all their actions in the plot. I wrote a quick part of what I thought would be my I want song called Sex and a Happy Ending.
Sex and a happy ending, that's my way to go. In romance novels, they always come back from the dead, then they end up in bed, don't you know?
The thing about I want songs though, if your story isn't naturally related to your main character going for their want at all the crucial points in the story, you really have nothing. And my story was kind of a weak hodgepodge of different, only vaguely related beats, very few of which were really about her chasing sex and a happy ending. My story wasn't cohesive and my want just wasn't strong enough. So I kinda scrapped both. Not to say I completely scrapped the plot, but I did go back and seriously re-outline everything. I followed cause and effect more closely. Much more of the plot hinges on Issa's belief that Melody didn't die, but instead ran away into the woods to follow a mad love affair, since the only one of her possessions that was found was a vampire romance novel. So instead of grief, she feels righteous indignation and feels spurned by her lover. Her want, then, is to find her own wild romance with someone new, to sort of play Melody at her own game. Gregory's role is now also much more understandable. He was forced to go with Issa on her journey into the mountains since their parents were worried about her safety and sanity. So now, not only is Greg a foil for Issa, being much more grounded, but he also has to stand by watching his delusional sister trying to have a romantic experience with anyone and everyone she meets. That sounds pretty awkward to me. And this new level to that already contentious sibling relationship gave me much more to work on in terms of a song where the 2 of them air out their grievances with each other. It also gave me a much better chance to really work in that clown and circus theme, having the 2 of them fighting in a rental cabin where everything is decorated like a circus. So instead of trying to figure out who Issa was through inaction by writing another I Want song, I instead wrote Love is a Circus, which explores 2 of my characters in a very heated moment.
You stare into the night out from your windowsill. You pretend you know the secret truth that no one actually dies. Well, I for one think you sound like an imbecile who grasps at straws and tells herself a big ol' heaping ton of lies. Do you really think that love is like this sappy little book? Or does this god-awful decor say something else? Yeah, well, if the funhouse mirror's right ahead, you better take a look. Your face is pale, your smile it's a big top kind of hell. Love is a circus, and you become a clown. You couldn't hold your weight on the trapeze, so you fall into the pool and you drown. You've got no backbone, no survival instincts you can claim. You're not a ringleader, you're not even the elephant they tame. You're just a bozo, and clowning is the name of your game. I know love's a circus, so you better think the same. Well, just because you hate the cards that you've been dealt doesn't mean I'll just accept that love has left me blind and out to dry. You mean because I live the grief that you have never felt? Instead of hiding in denial, honestly, I'd rather die. Do you really think that love is like some broken down machine that once it leaves you one time, you can never get it back? Do you really, no, really think I'm trying to be mean? Sis the lion's getting hungry, I'm just preempting the attack. Love is a circus, the curtain's coming up. You shouldn't have to juggle with your sanity. Drink the wine from the delusional cup. Love's a peddler of a lie, love's as fickle as a flame. You're an asshole, and here you are pointing fingers and placing blame. Would you even want to be here if not to beat her at her game? Love's a circus, Melody's dead, and you better think the same. Thank you, here's a bright red tent that shields you from the sun, protects you from the harsh rays of reality. Oh nice, a little sword swallower, yeah, we could have some fun. Or would you rather not witness a fatality? But here's this little clown, a painted tear in her eye. It's falling down. Did she really have to die? Love is not a novel. I'm not a romantic lead. I've never wooed a vampire queen. It's just in what I read. Love's a cloak, love's a dagger, love's a kick in the knees. Love is death at your doorstep, it's a fatal disease. Love is not a vampire carrying you up in the trees. Love is a circus. Please.
After this song, of course, they will meet the vampire clown, Spoon, and meet Melody again. In a way, proving both Issa and Greg right. Also, I know there are some wordy parts and weird scansion. I'm gonna work on that, don't worry. I'm also exploring making Melody the leader of the Vampire Circus. So that's some fun backstory. But what do you think? What parts of this are exciting to you? What would you like to see? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my socials to follow me through this process. Also, another writer named Alex Poole has taken up this 15 musicals in 15 months challenge. Please feel free to check out his video, which I've linked in the description. That's all for today's video. Until next time, my name is Madeleine Skye, and I'm writing musicals.
There was a time when I cried all night, couldn't sleep till I got